Hello everyone. In this video we are going to cover how to create an examination or assessment using Google Forms, and we will take an example of the summative assessment Google form that has been used in English class. So before you start creating your questions, make sure you are using the right heading. So the school logo and the description of the exam. For example, Horizon International Bilingual School and academic year term 1 unit 2 test, for instance, like it's an example here. But for the final tests or midterm exams, you can just categorize it like midterm examination or final examination in your upcoming exam, final exams. All right. Yeah. So please divide your form into the sections. The first section is the name actually of the exam. So unit 2 test, and you can give the description or expectations, personal and expectations. And I can later on I can share with you the basic explanations and schools minimum expectations from the learners during big and summative exams. So you can just copy and paste them here, as well as you can just write your own expectation from the learner. Later on, ask students, you can just put a drop-down list here, so it will be easy for students to just select their names instead of typing them. If we can do this, that would be better. So just copy and paste your students' names from the class list, which you already have, and put it here. So when students have to answer this question, so it still appears as a question, they can drop down the list and select their names and continue to their exams. And please put all the questions as required. So students will not have any chance to skip the question or skip the name of their paper and so on. Later on, create another section. So the first section is about the owner of the paper and so on. So we don't need to ask the grade level, the program, because we are creating this examination to that class. So we definitely know which form and whose form is this. So please you don't need to ask any grade level or any program or any date, because in Google Forms the dates work quite differently, and basically last year we faced a lot of problems with the date selection. Students may select, instead of 10th of December, they may select 12th of October. So just skip date selection and add a section. How to add a section? So here it's a question, and this part, like you can see two straight rectangles, so this will add a section. So you can just click on it and add a section. For example, if you are teaching math, section A, it's about let's say trigonometry, or in science section is about describing the experiment and so on. And yeah, you can just continue defining the sections and put the questions right under the section. For instance, last time we did this kind of what do we call the experiment, and please define that experiment, what you have learned, what you haven't, something like that. So it depends actually on the topic that you are teaching and on the question that you are doing. Later on, you can still continue once you added the section here. So the section 2, actually it will be section 1 in your exam, because the section this one is basically about the learner, and your questions start from section 2. And adding your questions, remember, dear teachers, you should add as many type of questions as possible. For instance, multiple choice. You can choose check boxes, you can choose a paragraph, you can choose a linear scale, and so on. So please try to differentiate and use universal approaches when you are creating exams. Please avoid using only multiple choice questions, because that will not give you a concrete data. Yeah, so here we also ask our students to answer those questions, at least try, and giving the points. So once you are done with the answers, like putting the question and putting the possible answers here, so you can just change the orders and so on, and writing the answer key. So this is the answer key of the teacher. So if the student selects any answers other than DE, for instance, here, the answer will be counted as wrong, and here we can just put the total points here, and you can see the total number of points here. So this testing actually consists of 100%. You can see if I reduce 1, it will be 99, reduce 2, it's 98. So just make sure at the end of the day your total points here meet your expected total points. So some of you may do 100, some of you may do 70 out of so just yeah, basically it's calculated as 100, but so I would recommend you to use 100 scale instead of others. That would be easy for us to calculate, because at the end of the day students scores are calculated out of 100. And the next section again, so we create again another section, and you can put definition of the section and different question types. So add a question here, and here you can see, so where is it? Yeah, it's sorry, yeah, it added here, so we can choose this part. Done. We didn't change anything. And section 2, add a question. Yeah, you can see, for example, what is the capital of Hanoi? Hey, sorry, what is the capital of Vietnam? Sorry. What is the capital of Vietnam? So is it a multiple choice? When you put multiple choice, I have a suggestion here. Like let's say, sorry, not multiple choice. If you have a short answer, for instance, you ask students to write a short answer. It can be, any kind of question like, what is the speed of light, or what is the distance between moon and earth, and so on. And when you type the answer, it would be better if you type possible answers. For example, it can be Hanoi. It can be, if you accept it, with lowercase Hanoi, with all uppercase Hanoi. Yeah, you can, yeah, basically 3 of them. And at the end of the day, if you still count this one as a correct answer and mark all other answers as incorrect, and this is 2 points, or you can make it 5 points. It's up to you, 1 point. All right. So if you ask a short answer from the student, typing answers, it would be better for you to type possible answers. Otherwise, if you write like with a capital first letter and others are lowercase, and these 2 answers may be counted as wrong, while these answers are still correct. Okay. Yeah. So okay. All right. And the next one is, let me check my notes. Heading, sections, and questions already done. You can put as many type of questions as possible. And here is the total point of your examination. Okay. And like, I would suggest once you for example, you have 45-minute test, and your lesson finished in 40 minutes, and right after 5 minutes you can select this accepting or not, like make it not accepting responses, so it will just close the door for submission. All right. So students who failed submit in 45, 50, 60 minutes, they won't be able to submit it because but of course you should have informed students in advance. So right in maybe in 45th or 46th minute, the submission will be closed. So ask them to be on time and be complete their work in a timely manner. In the settings, you should make it a quiz, because it's an examination. Yeah. And here, missed questions, correct answer, you can put them on, no problem. All right. Yeah, it's basically all. And here in customize theme, so we already know how to upload the heading, and you can select your theme color upon your choice. Okay. And here even we have the fonts of the exam questions. Later on, when it comes to send, we can just copy the link here. Copy the link. You can even shorten the link. Copy the link and we should put it in the Zoom chat box, so students can directly access to the exam through the Zoom. So students who are not in the Zoom, who are missing the examinations, won't be able to receive this form outside of the Zoom room. So please try to share your link through Zoom. But of course, beforehand, without sharing a link, post a summative assessment or midterm assessment task in Atlas Next, and it's put it as a gradable, so you can just grade it afterwards. You don't need to put any kind of document, or you don't have to link it to any Google Doc or any Dropbox. It will be just an announcement or task with some explanations as well as grades. So after you collect all the points, all the responses here, you will be able to see, if you collect all the responses, you will be able to see the points here and just have a general look at the questions. If students, especially it happens when we require students to write something as a short paragraph, they may find some answers which are correct. Like here, so maybe we have skipped. So if the student writes something correct outside of these 3 correct answers, we can just give the student that score, okay? And later on, copy and paste this score to the Atlas Next task grades. And that's all. Yeah, thank you very much.